comfortable with the fan which is running now? Anybody has any problem? Anybody? Any difficulty? But this is one of the universal problem. In Coimbatore also we used to have this problem. Some people want fan, some people don't want. Some people fight also used to have. I hope there is no ground for fight here. So, are you comfortable? Good. Very nice. So if you are comfortable, then I can talk to you. Otherwise, your attention will be on the fan only. Not running. So, I am happy you are comfortable. So I am now paying more attention. Attention, no? We start? Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the last class, we saw the first part of Vedantic teaching, which is Atma Anatma Viveka. Cognitive separation of what I am and what I am not. And this is done because we have confusion about what I am and what I am not. In some area I am clear. With reference to the desk, etc., I am clear. But when it comes to the body, there is some confusion. Border problem. Now, regarding border area, there will be conflicts between the two countries. India says it is ours, and China says it is ours. Kashmir, Pakistan says it is ours. India says it is ours. So similarly, when it comes to the body, there is a confusion. And we saw that the body also is something I am aware of. I am different from that. Sense organs, I am aware of, different from that. Emotional faculty called the mind. Understanding faculty called the intellect. Remembrance, recollection faculty called memory. All of them I am aware of. I am different from them. And even this sense of individuality called ahankara, I am aware of and different from it. Then who am I? I am consciousness, the content of the knower, in which there is no action, there is no doership, there is no bhoktrutvam, there is no experientialship. It is the basis for experience, without which experience is not possible, but it does not have experientialship. Means it is not subject to sukha and dukkha. When we say Atma, consciousness, is free from bhoga, primarily it means it is free from becoming sukhi and dukhi, happy and unhappy. Atma does not become happy, Atma does not become unhappy. Atma is I, consciousness, Atma, and the knower, the witness of the happy state of the mind and unhappy state of the mind. I am not bhokta. And when I see myself to be consciousness, Atma, free from doership and this experiencership, sometimes they translate bhoktrutvam as enjoyership. It is okay, but it is not a comprehensive word because it will include only happiness. Whereas we want to include even unhappiness in this bhoktrutvam, and therefore we don't say enjoyership. You cannot say I am enjoying dukkha. You cannot say. You are not enjoyer of dukkha. Therefore, we are using the word experiencership. This is what Puja Swamiji's, his awareness of usage of the word was very high. So I am free from both of them, and thereby I am free from guilt and hurt. Otherwise, guilt cripples the person. Means because of guilt, person will not be able to even listen to Vedanta effectively. Even though he may be understanding cognitively, but this guilt is so strong in the mind of a person that he said, how can I be Brahman? He will reject. Therefore, one needs to see this, I am free from this guilt and hurt because I am not a karta, I am not a bhokta. But here one thing one needs to be careful about is seeing that I am not a karta, I am not a bhokta is not the sense of irresponsibility. It is not that you do everything and you say, I am not a karta. One thief, he had learned little bit Vedanta. And therefore when he was brought to the court and he said, sir, you have studied Vedanta, I have studied Vedanta. Both of us are attending same Guru's class. I am a karta. His body did. I am a karta. That's, I am also attending Vedanta classes. He said, I am putting your body into prison. Your Atma is living free. जैसे को तैसा. Alright, जैसे को तैसा means what tit for tat, no? I have to think of the equivalent. Alright, so kartrut, I am akarta, I am abhokta. This understanding is not meant for encouraging irresponsibility, or it is not meant for escaping from responsibility or escaping from the action, or we use it as a defense mechanism for protect and encouraging, justifying our deeds. It is not meant for that. If you misuse Vedanta, some people do misuse. And then they say, I am a karta, I am a bhokta, like that. I have heard some people doing that. But in the process, the person is the loser, not Vedanta. Vedanta may get some bad name because of that. That is okay. Afterwards it will be washed away. But the person is the loser. Because when you are fooling yourself, fooling others, the truth does not change. And therefore the guilt will become deeper and deeper. You have to pay for it with compound interest. In long run, you cannot escape from that. So Vedanta is not meant for justifying your wrong deeds. You cannot misuse Vedanta for justifying some wrong things done. You can say, it was wrong. You can say that first. It was wrong. It happened. And we will see some another way of looking at our action. And now I have got understanding that I am akarta. I am akarta of wrong action. I am akarta of right action also. Not double standard. One Swamiji used to say Hindi. He said, "ये some people have this policy. क्या मीठा मीठा गप गप कड़वा कड़वा तू तू." Means when sweet things come, they gulp it down, take it, and when bitter things come, they spit it out. That's not correct. When I say I am akarta, it is not only with reference to wrong action I am akarta. Something went wrong, oh, I am akarta. Oh, it is done so well, it's me. That is double standard. Then you have not understood Vedanta. So Vedanta says I am akarta with reference to so-called good action and so-called not good action. Similarly, Sukha also is the state of the mind. Dukkha is the state of the mind. I am the knower. They use another word, Sakshi. I am the Sakshi of both of them. Sakshi means what? Uninvolved observer. So I am uninvolved observer of the state of the mind. I am akarta, I am abhokta. As I said, this particular understanding gives a lot of relief, but still the teaching is not complete. Because the teaching will be complete, can be considered complete when it includes all the aspects. You have not left out anything. And here in this particular part of this teaching, we have said, I am consciousness. What about this body? What about this world? What about the mind? You have to account for everything. Like when you write account now, you have to write, both sides should tally. You cannot say that is out, not considered, not considered. You cannot write the amount is not considered. Sometimes you write miscellaneous, but miscellaneous should not be more than the regular one. When I was traveling, I was given the responsibility of writing account and I was forgetting. And therefore, miscellaneous, the Swamiji said, miscellaneous zyada ho gaya. Alright. So, when we give the vision, it should include everything. And now we have left out the world, which includes the body, senses, mind. What about that? What is the place of all of them in the vision of the self? And therefore, Shastra gives us another aspect of the teaching, and that is the topic of creation, which is an important topic in Shastra. It occupies lot of space. In the Shastra, if you see, the creation topic is very elaborately discussed. And to understand that topic, first of all, we need to understand that anything intelligently put together is a product. Means it is created. This clip, there are various parts. This part, the upper part, lower part, in between this spring is there, this nail is there. All these parts are intelligently put together. Imagine this particular nail was kept here, no use. Everything has got a place. It is intelligently put together. And therefore, if I say that this clip, it is there in a particular mine, I just dug it out, you will not accept it. There is a clip mine, like gold mine is there, coal mine is there, similarly clip mine, you will not accept. Swamiji, thoda to take ये तो ज़्यादा ही हो गया. That is too much, Swamiji. We trust you, but not so much. So you are very sure that this is a product and it must have some maker. There is some maker. There should be some creator. Anything which is intelligently put together is a product, and product must have a cause, a creator. And this world, which includes this body, is also intelligently put together. In this universe, everything is so well connected. Therefore, one quantum physicist very nicely said, you cannot pluck the flower without disturbing the farthest star. You cannot pluck a flower without disturbing the farthest star. Means everything is well connected. Because the electrons, in every atom will have different quantum state. So here when you pluck the flower, the quantum state of that particular flower, the quantum state of the atom of that flower is changed and it can be replaced by someone. That is the basis. And therefore, everything is so intelligently put together. And being intelligently put together, it must have a creator. For us, those who are brought up in this culture, they don't have this problem. ये तो भगवान ने बनाया ना. But for some people, it takes a lot of time to accept that this world can have creator. Bertrand Russell said that we don't accept this world is a creation. So we have to give them arguments. He also has got arguments. Our argument, which is Swamiji used to give, is this world is intelligently put together. And the best example how this is intelligently put together is our own body. In our body, everything is so intelligently put together. There are some 11 to 12 systems are there. Digestive system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system, endocrine system, so many systems. And it works. Yes. Generally it works. Like this also works. Generally it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. So that's why we go to the doctor. Yes, so Dr. Karan had it. Our body is very intelligently put together. We have not really figured out everything in the body. See, this one body we have been studying for so many years. Still, we have not figured out. Many times doctors say we don't know. That is called idiopathy. Have you heard the idiopathy? Idiopathy means when symptoms are there, problems are there, but doctors are not able to find out the cause. That is called idiopathy. That's what somebody said. What is idiopathy? When the condition of the patient is very pathetic and doctor is feeling idiot about himself. That is called idiopathy. And that is my knowledge. My knowledge of medical science is very little, so I'm wrongly understood, but this is how it is. So, everything in the body you see intelligently put together. Puja Swami used to give a very nice example. He said, Puja Swami used to talk about his own thinking. He said, I thought that it nose, should not be here. Because our face is crowded so much. So many eyes are there, here, nose is there, mouth is there, all. He said, how nice if the nose was on the top. How nice, so we can have fresh air, directly. And he said, I liked my idea and I was feeling so good. How nice it would have been. But then, other day, somebody gave me coffee. And I wanted to enjoy this flavor, aroma. And so what? You have to drink like this? Then Vijay Swami said, I understood the nose should be where it is. Really? This is what Vijay Swami is thinking, how he used to think. So this body is intelligently put together. And have you designed the body? You have designed your own body? Huh? Your parents have designed? Mother wished that she had designed. Then this fellow would be better perhaps. No, your parents did not design the body. It is given. It is intelligently put together, a part of this creation. And therefore, it should have a creator, the cause. And that cause is presented by the word Brahma or Ishvara in our Shastra. What is the nature of that Ishvara? We'll see later, but I am just giving the name. That cause is called Brahma. Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti tad Brahma tad vijijnasasva. So it is a word Brahma. Brahma means limitless. The word Brahma is derived from the root Brih. Brih means to be big. Vardati. Manin pratyaya. Munadi pratyaya. Manin. So, Brih, from that it has come Brahma. And Brahma means big. Now, big is a relative word. If I say, I saw a big mosquito in the room, how much big do you imagine? Do you imagine this big? Huh? You don't imagine this big. Big means little, this much. But if I say, Himalaya is a big mountain, do you imagine this big? So bigness you conceive from the word big depends upon the substantive. Big is an adjective. I hope this much grammar we know. Because Ren and Martin grammar we studied so many years ago. This much we know. Bigness conveyed by the word big depends upon the substantive it is added to. But if I use the word big and you are waiting, what big something what? So that I can decide how much big. Silence. Nothing. How much bigness you will consume? Limitless big. This is the way of communicating, how Vedanta has conveyed. By converting the adjective into noun. Big. So, Brahma means limitlessly big. And that Brahman is also called Ishvaraha. When we refer to Brahman as the cause, we use the word Ishvaraha. Ishvara word is derived from Ish Dhatu. Dhatu means the root. The basic word is called Dhatu or root in English. And Ishvara means one who is ruling, the ruler. Varaj Pratyaya is that. Ishvara. The Varaj Pratyaya, don't bother about what is Pratyaya, Swamiji? Pratyaya means suffix. Okay, that much I can tell. Where, Swamiji, we get all this? You have to study grammar, you have to do the course here. They have done the course. So they know it. You also can know it. Ishvara. And we generally avoid using the word God. We are not allergic to word God. But this word God has some connotation. Those who have studied in convents know the God means an old man it comes with beard. And God says, I am jealous. Like that. So that type of concept will come with the word God. The Trinity comes. Father, Son and Spirit. No, that is called God. What God consists of? In other theology, Father, Son, Spirit. The Trinity. All these things we don't mean. And therefore, we will use the word Ishvara. What is meant by that is the Creator. And they call Creator as God, but we are using the word Ishvara so that connotation of God doesn't come when we are communicating about Ishvara. Alright, so Ishvara, what is generally known as God. So the cause of this world is presented in Shastra by the word Ishvara or Brahma. And what is the cause of this world? For that, only Shastra is Pramana. Science has accepted it, that it will never figure out what was the original cause. They call it singularity. The Big Bang came from what? Singularity. Singularity means the point of no information. That is the definition of singularity. The Big Bang came from what? Some very hot, infinitely hot, dense thing, which is point of singularity, point of no information. And they say we will never be able to figure out what that point was, because to get the idea, we have to have some indirect observation or direct observation. We have to go that many light years ago when the creation was, and at that time density was so high that the ray of light will not penetrate. And based on the ray of light alone we can see, and therefore we will never be able to see what was that point of singularity. I am telling this, you know why? To say that science cannot become the means of knowledge for knowing the cause of this world. Science itself has accepted defeat. Like sometimes in cricket match, if some team is out, so हम नहीं करेंगे. So will not play. So like that, so out. Shastram eva pramana. And that Shastra reveals that cause of this world is Ishvara. What is Ishvara, etc., how to appreciate, all this will come. Please wait. And when we talk about the creation, generally people focus on one type of cause. They miss out the other one. They leave out the other one. But when we analyze the topic of creation, we say for creation of anything, we require twofold cause. Two types of causes required. One is called the efficient cause. In Sanskrit it is called nimitta karanam. Like for this pot. Pot is a product. And for this product, one cause we need is pot maker. It is called nimitta karanam. Pot maker is nimitta karanam, intelligent cause. Why we call intelligent cause? Because the maker has to have the knowledge of making the product. Some knowledge of the product is required. And therefore we call it intelligent cause, nimitta karanam. Pot maker is a nimitta karanam for this cause, this pot. But pot maker cannot make pot without any material. It requires some material. He cannot produce pot out of himself, even though he has pot like belly, but he cannot take out some fat and make pot. He requires some material. So generally, the material which is called upadana karanam for this pot, one cause is nimitta karanam, the intelligent cause, pot maker. The other cause is material cause, upadana karanam. In this case it is clay. So for a pot, we require clay, the material cause, upadana karanam, and the pot maker, intelligent cause. Two causes are required. And most of the theologists in other religions, they focus only on the efficient cause or intelligent cause. They say God in heaven created this world. But what was the material now? And some Christian theology, he said, God created everything out of nothing. Creatio ex nihilo, something like that in Latin they say. So the creation out of nothing. He created everything out of nothing. But you have heard that song, no? Nothing comes out of nothing. Something song is there? Have you heard this? Cylinder or something? That movie song was the English movie. Huh?
The sound of music.
Whatever. So I like that song. Nothing comes out of nothing. So this is not acceptable to ours that everything came out of nothing. Which Swamiji used to say very nicely. He said they should have said that everything came out of nothing else. Only one word they have added, it would be nice. Which Swamiji gives some correction. So we say Ishvara created this world. He is the Nimitta Karanam, maker. What is the material? He himself is the material. So Ishvara created this world out of himself. Generally, the maker and material are different. But there are some exceptional cases when the material cause and efficient cause are one and the same. In Shastra, Mundaka Upanishad, they give the example. Yathodana visrijate grunate cha. Spider example. Some people are afraid of spider. The spider, is there anybody who is afraid of spider? There are people. There is some phobia, it is called some chrono something phobia. That. But spider for us is a good example. So those who are afraid can see from distance. Actually, spider creates the web, not from anything else, out of itself. So spider is a good example. Spider-Man is a good example for us. Spider is the material cause and efficient cause both for the web. And very intelligent. It doesn't create down near the floor, it doesn't create. It creates a little bit away from the floor, in the corner where generally this house lady doesn't go and to sleep it. Only Deepavali goes. So it creates that. Still, some people may have some dissatisfaction, and therefore we can give another example. That for dream world, you are the maker, you are the material. You create dream world and you are the material for dream world as a person. Similarly, Ishvara creates this world out of himself. So he is Upadana Karanam, material cause and efficient cause. So what is the significance of that? We have a significance. What is that? If we analyze the relationship between the product and material cause, we find that the effect part is not away from clay. This part is not away from clay. Clay alone is manifesting in the form of pot with a particular name and form. So we can say this, all the parts are the manifestations of clay. Is there any pot away from clay at any point? Top, bottom, side? No. And now when we understand that this world is the effect and Ishvara is the cause, the material cause, can any part of the world be away from Ishvara? Ishvara being the material cause, the world being the effect, the world does not exist apart from Ishvara. Ishvara alone is manifesting as this world. That is the understanding behind worshipping everything. The people from abroad, I would not say foreigner, the people from abroad, they find it is very strange. These people, Indians, they worship river. You must have seen people worshipping river, no? They do arti and all. River they are worshipping. Snake they worship. Tree they worship. What is this? Even car they worship. For them it is very strange that when car comes from this, their showroom, and they take it to the temple and do arti and all this. Chandanam, mala. This is something amazing for them. And they think they are, they are having a lot of superstition and all, superstitious Indians. They dismiss it. And they call it pagans, So they are all worshipping all kinds of things. There is a vision behind. The vision is, all that is here is nothing but Ishvara. Indian culture is Vedic culture. It is based on the vision of Vedas. And the vision of Vedas is, all that is here is Ishvara. That vision, that person who is worshipping may not be knowing it. He will say that I am worshipping because my father was worshipping, my mother was worshipping and told me, if you don't worship, if something will happen. So some reason may be that he may not be understanding. But those who have given this particular form of worship, they had this vision. That is why it is important to retain the form and also know the spirit. Some people know the spirit, but they don't respect the form. So it becomes ghost. Spirit without form is what? Ghost. Spirit without body is what? Ghost. And form without the spirit is dead. Isn't it? Body is there, spirit, the self is not there. Atma not there. Then it is what? Dead body. So form without spirit is dead. Spirit without form is ghost. Therefore, both should be there. Spirit and form is a part of life. What is the spirit? Understanding all that is here is Ishvara. And the form is in the form of worshipping, respecting all. This Namaste also is based on that. We do Namaste. Namaste represents Indian culture very well. So if you want to represent Indian culture, this is a very beautiful form. This is Indian culture. Because the Namaste means what? I salute you. Namaha te. Salutation to you. That is the meaning of Namaste. And what is the spirit behind? You are manifestation of Ishvara as I am. So one manifestation of Ishvara is saluting the other manifestation of Ishvara. And in some of our pujas which we do, in puja one step is Atma Puja. And in that we chant the mantra, Deho Devalayaha Proktaha. Our body is the temple. Means our Our body is not something non-sacred. Body also is sacred. So we worship everything. That is why Indian culture is a reverential culture. One important feature of Indian culture is reverence to everything, respect. Therefore, the book, those who are following the spirit of Indian culture, they will not throw the book. They will not put their books on the shoes. I generally give this example. In Rishikesh, one group had come from US, some university, for staying here and studying. And when they used to go to dining hall, you know what they used to do? They used to keep their books on their shoes. It's a very practical thing. Really speaking, practically it is a correct thing. Because you will not forget, otherwise books will keep their shoes. Then either you will forget your shoes, you will forget your books. But now, both are there. Therefore, one remembered, other is remembered. It's a practical thing. But for the people who are, imbued in this culture, they will think, oh, these books also can be kept. Means respect. So we show our respect to everything. We don't throw things. In fact, when they start a dance program, before dancing, they do namaskara to the ground. Bhumi namaskara. Because they are going to stomp on that. And therefore, namaskara. In fact, when we get up, padas parsam kshamaswame. Samudra vasane devi. So, we respect the earth, we respect water, all elements. Because this vision is that all that is here is Ishvara. Alright. Now, somebody may have this question, Swamiji, how do I appreciate that everything is Ishvara? Because I am seeing this pot, I am seeing this book, I am seeing this switchboard, this air conditioned machine, this clock, I am seeing the river, I am not seeing Ishvara. You are saying everywhere Ishvara, I am saying nowhere Ishvara. You are saying everywhere. It's a matter of belief. How do I appreciate Ishvara everywhere? That's a genuine question. Sometimes, people don't know the answer and therefore they will stop. They say, you are a Nastika or what? You don't believe in Shastra? They may snub also. But that is not a right way of responding to the questions. So, we say yes, Ishvara can be appreciated in this world. Not only one way, two ways we can appreciate. Depending upon your level of refinement, depending upon your level of subtlety of the mind. The first way is appreciating Ishvara as the order. Everything behaves in order. This clip is dropped, it falls down. With how much acceleration? 9.8 meters per second square. Meter per second square. That's called gravitational acceleration. आपको थोड़ा फिजिक्स भी आ जाएगा. And it is universal. Of course, there are some air factor and all this will be extra, but generally it follows that. It shows what? The falling of this clip is in order, in physical order. My talking and your hearing is in order. I am talking, that also is in order. I can talk, my talking is in order, follow certain order. When I touch my tongue to a particular part, that ka comes out. When I touch particular part, and I touch my tongue to a particular part and pa comes out. Apuha visarjaniya kantaha, yutu rashana bhuta, yutu rasana datta. So there is our forefathers have mapped that when you touch particular part of the tongue, then it creates this sound. So my talking, making this sentence is following order. Your listening also is following order. It reaches, my sound reaches the membrane of the ear, it gets vibrated, passes on the vibration to the middle ear, then the inner ear, and then audio nerve and goes to the brain, and it converts the audio signal into particular meaning, sound. It follows certain order. You are eating and it is converted into nutrients. It is following physiological order. Imagine, you cannot do it. The roti, sabji, dal, you put it in mixie, will you get some fat and carbohydrates? And you don't get. No? You don't get glucose, oxygen from that. Physiological order. So this order, which always is preceded by some intelligence, knowledge, is the manifestation of Ishvara. So how do I appreciate Ishvara? I appreciate Ishvara in the form of this order. Order that makes the things as they are. Orders that makes behave things the way they do. This pot is of this shape because of order. Our earth is spherical shape because of the law of gravitation. Those who know physics, they know. Because in its core center there is a gravitational pull and therefore relatively round shape. Order. So all these bodies, most of them are spherical because of this order. So order is that because of which a given thing is the way it is, the way it behaves, because of order. So order is that because of which a given thing is the way it is, and given thing behaves the way it does. That is order. It can be defined, order is multiplex of relationships joining all the things in the universe. That is called order. Multiplex, if you heard the word multiplex, not a theater, no, where multiplex, not that. Multiplex means a system having many components. So multiplex of relationships joining things together, making the universe a cosmos. Have you heard the word cosmos? Cosmos is a word used for universe when it is looked upon as a ordered entity. Universe looked upon as orderly entity is called cosmos. When we appreciate that universe is following the order, then we call it cosmos. Otherwise it is chaos. Opposite to cosmos is chaos. And this order has got various manifestations. We have got physical order, because of which things fall with a particular acceleration. Physiological order, epistemological order. Epistemological order means the order which governs our knowledge. I am saying I have got certain understanding of a given subject matter. I express it through the words, and the words are going to you and creating understanding, which you again will be able to express through words. If you understood something and if somebody asks you, you can present it. So how it happens? Understanding converted into words, words again creating understanding which can be again expressed through words. This is epistemological order. Epistemological order is a discipline of knowledge dealing with the scope, method, and validity of means of knowledge. That is called this epistemological order. I always like definition. So this is what epistemological order is. An important order to know for our mental health is psychological order. It's very important to know. If a person is hurt intensely, repeatedly, then that person will be angry with the world and will have tendency to hurt others. This is psychological order. Order implies this, that if you have a particular background, you will behave in a particular way. If you have been cheated severally by so many people, then you will be suspicious. You will have difficulty in trusting people. This is psychological order. If you have been so much bossed over, so much subdued, then you will feel inferior. You will have complex, you will have anxiety while dealing with people. This is psychological order. If you have been humiliated in front of others, in front of a big crowd every now and then you will have crowd phobia. This is order. So all your behavior are governed by your background. This is psychological order. And this psychological order is manifestation of Ishvara. This order itself is Ishvara. So when I feel angry, my anger is in order. I don't say that I should get angry or I justify my anger. I don't justify my anger. I validate my anger. There is a very beautiful word in English, validation. Validation is different from justification. When there was anger, how do I look upon it? This anger is occurring, happening because of certain hurt, certain pain which could not be handled. And this pain is there because of certain background. Therefore, my anger is in order. I validate my anger. But this does not mean I justify my anger. What is the difference between validating anger and justifying anger? When I say I validate, I mean it is understandable. If anybody in my place with my background would have the same situation, that person also would have got angry. No, Swamiji, this Shankaracharya ji will not be. Shankaracharya ji with my background, not his background. Shankaracharya ji with my background in my situation also would have got angry. This is called validation of anger. What is justification? Many people justify anger. He did like this, therefore I have to get angry, I should get angry, I will get angry. This is called justification. When you say that anger should be there, it is justification. When you say anger is understandable, it is validation. And not only my anger, anybody's anger is in order. Not that whenever I get angry, I always validate. And when somebody gets angry, how can you get angry? My anger is okay, your anger is not okay. That's double standard. Anybody's anger, anybody's reaction is in order. Therefore, I can validate it. Validate it means what? I can see it as understandable. I may not know the background, but I know for sure that anger this person has must have some background. Like if tea is sweet, even though you have not seen person putting sugar, but you know sugar has been put. Similarly, any anger, any jealousy anybody has. Now people sometimes, why are you jealous of me? It is not that person who wants to be jealous. She finds himself, herself to be jealous. And his or her jealousy is understandable. I find myself to have jealousy, I validate it. It is understandable. And when you validate, means see it as understandable, then you do not make any judgment about yourself. You say, my anger, my jealousy, my sadness, my feeling low, all of them are in order. Anybody in my place with my background would have felt the same way, the way I do. And this you can say with reference to anybody in the world. If Osama bin Laden is there in front of me, he is no more there, but he is in front of me. And he is telling, I got so angry and I did this. I can tell that person also, if I were in your place, with your background, I would have done the same. You have to remember this point. With his background, many times we say this, no, if I were in your place, I will not do this. That time you are forgetting one thing. You are in his place with your background. You have to be in his place with his background. Then everybody's feelings, behavior, everything in order. And when you say and understand this, it is in order, you will not react. You will be compassionate. It is something like somebody is shouting in the hospital. It may be irritating, but when you understand that person has got a pain, intense pain, he cannot but shout. What will be your response? Compassion. So when you understand Ishvara as the order, you see everybody is in order. Any action of any person can be validated. Then your response will be what? Compassion. You do what is to be done. And same thing is for yourself. When I see some anger, jealousy, sadness, instead of getting angry with myself, there is compassion to oneself. One needs to be compassionate to oneself as one needs to be compassionate to others. Charity begins at home. Let compassion start with oneself. And let it be extended. It should not be charity begins at home and remains at home, it should not. It should go out also. I can have compassion for myself. I can have compassion to all. Then I appreciate Ishvara as